Zone A neutralized. Zone B lost. Zone A Guardians.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy aka Man12 here, coming to you guys with some more Destiny gameplay. The gameplay you guys are going to be watching is some more Crucible gameplay where I go on a nice little tear, pick up a ton of kills, and manage to win the game for my team, practically carrying the entire team on my back. But the gameplay is not really necessary to what I'm about to talk about. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Bungie's latest hotfix, which was just released actually a couple minutes ago as I'm doing this commentary. It was a hotfix, so if you did get kicked from the servers, I do apologize for that, as that is very annoying, getting kicked from the servers while you're doing the strike or anything like that. But thankfully that didn't really happen to me, and I actually completed the Nightfall right before I got kicked off the server, so it benefited me a lot. Now the recent hotfix is 1.0.2.2 for Destiny, which goes live actually 45 minutes ago as I'm doing this commentary, and I'm going to be discussing what they happen to do in this patch. Now, first things first, the general patch fixed a bug where the Valkyrie 05X ship was the same as the Aurora Lance. I didn't really notice this. I don't really know too much about ships, but apparently a spaceship looked exactly the same like the other ones. The classes, the Titan, the Unbreakable skill basically fixed an issue with a perk gaining more agility than intended, so this actually got nerfed a little bit from the looks of it. The Warlock Brimstone perk can now be activated if player is airborne. I'm not entirely sure what Brimstone does. I have to look at my character because I am a Warlock, so I have to see what that does, and so I can get a better understanding of what exactly Brimstone does. But moving on to what the real patch did. Weapons, general, fixed some issues related to quick weapon swapping. So there was an issue with swapping weapons, and I did see this a few times, so they basically fixed that. Auto rifles, the base damage was decreased by 2%. This isn't, I haven't really seen too much of a big deal with this, like for the Ceros regime, for example. I just finished playing Crucible a couple minutes ago, post patch, and I didn't really see too much of a difference. So it looks like that really didn't see. I don't see much of a difference in the assault rifle patch, but you know, from the looks of it, they did say they were going to patch it, and it did get patched. Next things, they reduced the precision damage multiplier from 1.5 to 1.25. Basically, your headshot bonus is reduced ever so slightly with the auto rifle. So, for example, I did notice this. The headshot multiplier was like at 48 with the Ceros regime. Now it's at like 45. It still isn't really much of a big difference. I'm still melting people with it. Moving on, stability was decreased by 4%. So it's down to 17%, driven by stat values. So certain guns have like 20% or 21%. Just subtract that by 4, and that's basically what the stability was decreased by. Moving on, hand cannons, in-air accuracy is now increased. This was a pretty big problem, in my opinion, with the fact that hand cannons, when you try to jump in midair, they would be like this terrible accuracy when you're trying to aim down sights in midair, and I jump shot a lot, so this was a pretty big issue for me because I enjoy using hand cannons sometimes, you know, just sometimes getting a nice little critical hit on them with a one hit, turning on another guy, getting another one hit. It was an issue, so I'm glad that they fixed that. Moving on, scout rifles, their base damage was increased by 6%. This is actually pretty significant. I'm glad that they did this. I'm seeing a large difference in my scout rifle damage now. I'm seeing a lot more damage output from the guns, which is pretty awesome. So hats off to Bungie for fixing that. I'm actually really glad, and hopefully this adds more gun variety to people who are using auto rifles out there, and I'm one of them. I'm one of those people that uses nothing but the auto rifles, especially the Ceros regime. Moving on, damage versus combatants increased by 6 to 25% based on tier. I believe this is Crucible. When they say combatants, I think they mean by Crucible. Not entirely sure what they mean by that, but I'm pretty sure they mean the Crucible. Moving on, improved target acquisition plus additional recoil tuning. Basically, they just toned down the recoil and also target acquisition. I'm pretty sure that means auto aim. May have tweaked it a little bit, so it's easier for scout rifles. Moving on, shotguns, they decrease the base damage at maximum range, fall off by 20%. This is actually pretty big. For certain shotguns, they were pretty overpowered, so I'm glad that they patched that. The shot package perk now has a slightly wider cone of fire, so your spread when you hit fire and also when you aim down sight is going to be a bit wider, which may result in a few more hit markers than usual. Moving on, the rangefinder and shot package perks are now mutually exclusive. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Moving on, exotic weapons did see a buff and also a nerf. First things first, the Vex Mythocast. Sorry guys, for those who got your Vex Mythocast, I hope you enjoyed it while you can, but the base damage was decreased by 34%. That is massive. I haven't gotten the Vex Mythocast, but Pico was telling me that he got the gun and he was using it. Post-patch, the patch was huge on this gun, so sorry for you guys to use that gun in Crucible, but that damage is going to be reduced massively. So that's literally like 1/3 of the damage cut, pretty much chopped off the gun. So maybe this is a good thing, maybe this is a bad thing, but I did hear a lot of complaints about this gun, so hopefully we won't see too many angry people about this. They also increased the precision damage multiplier from 1.25 to 1.5, so there's a little bit of an upside and a downside to this patch. They buffed the precision damage, the headshot multiplier, but they also decreased the base damage. So moving on, the Pocket Infinity exotic weapon. The enhanced battery perk has now been replaced with the speed reload perk. I believe that this was like this slowed down the recharge time. That's basically what the battery perk did, and they basically replaced it with a speed reload perk instead, so that's pretty awesome. Perks, metal detector fixed a bug that prevents this perk from actually providing additional ammo, so they nerfed the ammo from that. Lightweight fixed a bug that allowed additional agility to apply even when a weapon was stowed. That's another thing that happened as well. Didn't really notice it. Activity strikes, engram rewards from strikes now appear in the post-game activity summary. Sometimes they didn't show up. It wasn't really a big deal to me. I'd still get it no matter what. Raid, the Vault of Glass, the Templar encounter when you go to the Templar to destroy the oracles and you gotta kill that weird looking thing that looks like a nexus. The kill volume added to sniper platforms to prevent players from sitting on top of them. I don't really know what this is. It's saying sniper platforms, those little outside platforms that people sit on sometimes, to prevent players from sitting on top of them. Maybe that certain tactic that I always did in the raid is finally patched. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by this. I'll have to look into it. Moving on, the relic is now moved and respawned if the player leaves the playable area, so this makes things a little bit more difficult in the raid. Sometimes me and my friend actually did do this, where we'd have the relic go to a certain spot and it was kind of out of the map, but in a way it wasn't, so you can't really do that anymore. And last but not least, destinations. The Fallen have also retreated from their hold over the Rocket Yard to discuss a new takeover plan. What does this mean exactly? I'm thinking that this means that they patched another loot cave that was in the Rocket Yards, because there was another loot cave that was in the Rocket Yards, but it wasn't really that significant in my opinion, if that makes any sense. It wasn't that good. I never used the new loot cave. Once the first loot cave was patched, I never used another loot cave, so looks like they patched it, the second loot cave, from the looks of this text right here. So sorry guys who are actually using that, but that got patched as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes. I will leave the patch notes in the description or in the comments box for anybody who wants to say it. Just say that you want to see it and I'll be sure to post it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. It's your boy AK signing out once again, and peace.